Face to Face with Jory Worthen.
Robbed of her legal right to see her daughter's killer sentenced to life in prison.
I had been waiting for that day for 2 years.
A mother finally gets the justice she deserves.
I don't know how this is going to make me feel until I'm there, in there.
As convicted killer Jory Worthen agrees to meet her.
Are you ready to do this?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Face to face.
I think they see him. Oh, God.
For the very first time.
Tonight, and only on Fox 16, a rare and raw moment 2 years in the making. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Fox 16 News. I'm Donna Terrell. On September 20th of this year, 26-year-old Jory Worthen pled guilty to killing Alyssa Cannon and her 4-year-old son Braden in their Camden home back in June of 2019. He was sentenced to 2 concurrent life sentences. Only problem? The victim's family wasn't there, and it wasn't by choice. But on October 20th, that all changed. My co-anchor, Kevin Kelly, picks up our exclusive coverage from here.
What we're about to show you was rarely ever seen or granted. A grieving mother who not only lost her daughter and grandson in a double murder, but was also denied her legal right to be in court when he was sentenced, is about to meet the man who killed them both face to face. And what's even more shocking is that he agreed to it.
Okay, we're ready.
There's no easy way to prepare for what's about to happen.
I haven't been able to sleep much the last 3 nights, and I'm just really, really nervous.
It takes strength and courage.
I sat with him on this bench right here the night it happened.
For the past 2 years, Angela Cannon,
It's hot. We need some air. I can't breathe.
along with the rest of her family, has desperately been trying to find the peace and closure they deserve.
My babies are gone and they'll never come back.
But today, where they're going and what they're about to do,
I kind of feel bad for him. And
there's a chance that could finally happen.
And it's not for him, it's for me.
That's right. It's for your healing.
Because I can't let this eat me alive anymore. I just can't.
The nightmare started on June 25th, 2019. Angela hadn't heard from her daughter in nearly 48 hours, so she filed a missing persons report with Camden police. Officers arrived at her home. Everything looked normal until they peeked through a window in the back of the house.
I just saw her.
What did she look?
Looked like she was laying face down.
They immediately kicked in the door and find both Alyssa and Braden dead in the 4-year-old's bedroom. But the prime suspect, Alyssa's fiancé, Jory Worthen, was nowhere to be found.
Do whatever you got to do to find him in that car.
Police say Worthen left the murder scene in Alyssa's 2007 white Honda Accord, but they had no idea where he went or how much of a jump start he had. Days later, a nationwide manhunt was launched, and Worthen was placed on the U.S. Marshals' top 15 most wanted list.
How bad do you want this guy?
As bad as anybody that we've ever gone after.
Hundreds of tips poured in from around the country, but no confirmed sightings were ever made. 16 months after the brutal murders, a break in the case. Marshals get a tip and arrest Worthen at a hotel in Burbank, California. 10 days later, and under heavy guard, he's brought back to Camden and put in jail.
Do you understand that you're here on 2 murder charges? Yes.
It's just a miracle to me, and I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful to Bo Woody, and I'm so thankful to Miss Moore and all the U.S. Marshals for everything they did. And I'm so thankful he's finally here.
But no one expected what would happen next.
I just immediately started crying.
On September 20th, Worthen pleaded guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder and was sentenced to 2 concurrent life sentences. According to state law, victims may be present at all court proceedings and submit an impact statement to the court. But Angela and her family were stripped of that legal right.
To get a call saying, why weren't you in court? And I said, quit in court for what? And I was told for the hearing he was sentenced and he pled and it's done.
According to several sources, the victim's advocate wasn't at work on the day when an email was sent out about Worthen's upcoming hearing. And by the time she did see it, the hearing was over.
She was so sorry. She apologized many, many times. And I don't blame her, and I'm not mad at her.
Which brings us back to this.
But yeah, just park in the front, because we'll have to go in where it says sheriff over there.
For the first time since Alyssa and Braden were murdered, Jory Worthen agrees to sit down.
You ready to do this?
Yeah.
With Angela and her family.
I think they say I'm
You ready for me? We'll bring it down.
Okay. Oh, God.
Face to face, so she can finally get the closure she was denied. So how was this face-to-face meeting set up in the first place? What Angela didn't know was that I had been communicating with Worthen since his arrest, requesting an interview. Months went by, and I never heard from him. But shortly after he entered his plea deal, I received this letter in which he agreed to the interview, but on one condition, that Angela was okay with it. She agreed, but then asked me if she could join me so she could finally read her impact statement. I immediately contacted Sheriff David Norwood, who took Angela's request straight to Worthen, who was sitting in his cell.
What did you tell him?
I just told him basically that, you know, y'all been corresponding, I guess, through the mail. That
Yeah.
For this to happen, I needed one thing to happen, and that was the impact statement to be read, and for her to, and he had no problem whatsoever. He said he would do that.
That's pretty unique.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
But he was sincere when he said it.
Coming up next, the powerful face-to-face meeting between Angela Cannon and the man who killed her daughter and grandson.
June 25th, 2019 was the day my life changed forever.
When we come back, what she had to say, his reaction to her statement, and the moment no one saw coming.